The Nominet Trust are funded both Wikivoice and am I still calling it Wikivoice? For a couple of minutes. And Data Unity. So just to say something very briefly about Nominet Trust and our data background, such as it is. So we're a tech for good funder, social tech funder. The labels are shifting. So basically, our remit is to invest in projects that use the internet for social good. Very, very broad. And one part of that is using digital tools to make better use of data. And both of these projects fit so beautifully into that. It's a real pleasure to see them launching today. Very briefly, a history of our data involvement, and I'm just tweeted out a URL, this timeline. So it goes back a couple of years. We started off the question of open data, how we can use open data to empower social organisations, working with individual organisations with their KPIs to find out what was going on within their organisation, what was going on in fact, establishing that the general level of data confidence within a range of social organisations is pretty low, and there's lots and lots of potential, lots of tools out there, many of them free and available, but not approachable. And certainly the data that's available out there is quite diffuse, and even with the best efforts of people such as David and NCDO, there's a lot more that we could be doing. There's David in the almanac. So we put together a state-of-the-art, we commissioned state-of-the-art review of open data and charities, so that's a really good starting point if you want to have to read through the potential and what's out there. It's about a year old, so it's still pretty relevant. And move quickly through. Quick note, if you're interested in this area, it's good to look across the pond. There's an organisation called Market for Good, working with a foundation centre in the US. Lots of very interesting impact data, social sector data out there. Importantly, this year we've been focusing on developing our own user data. One of the things that came out of our data days was how crucial it was for organisations internally to have really effective use and command of their data, and that we're trying to walk the walk there. We're working with other organisations such as Nesta, Big Lottery. We had a conference in April. Bit of a quiet summer, but now we're on to, have to mention NT100. So this is a research project that actually I work quite closely on. The data relevance here, this is a list of 100 organisations that we found inspiring, and one of the things that we definitely wanted to do was make sure there was CSV available down there of the list, and actually we're getting into really interesting conversations about how we can work with all the other lists of this kind that are out there, and there is a flowering of them, how we can stitch them together. And this is an example for me of the real phase 2 of this social data landscape, how you can work with other organisations that have data. Jeremy might touch on that, we're speaking about that this morning. Really interesting time for this world. One more state-of-the-art review, which has just got reviewed. So this is looking at big data. I think it's really interesting, tantalising opportunities for working with the private sector who are the big daddies in terms of data. How can we start to create use cases where we're bringing together social sector data, public sector data, and data in the private sector. So we had Duncan Ross, an organisation from Data Science UK, which if you're interested in this world, you should really look up. They're really excellent and helpful organisations data-wise. And again, that's a really useful starting point to see where big data could be fit in your organisation. I know some people are in this audience are way beyond that point, but if it is a starting point, then you're looking for it, and it's a really good place to look. Work again on that front, working with foundations for good, so the Tech Entrepreneurs Network to encourage and explore more detailed discussion about what's possible and what would make sense as a data exchange with private sector and social sector. That's a really interesting event, and you can look at our story by on that link. One of the things that happened at that event, which because we were rightly called out for not having opened our own data, which was very helpful for my personal campaign. And within a week, we had uploaded our first CSV of our grant data. So it's up there for you. It's partial, and it will grow, and it will get more interesting. But it is up there, and that brings me on very briefly to a body of work I'm really looking to encourage, which for 360 Giving, to look at Nominet Trust, CAN and Mezzanine are leading this with us. So the possibilities that start to come up when grant makers in the UK start to release their data in a structured way. So Big Lottery, you may or may not be aware, about a month ago released all of their grants back to 2004, 112,000 grants, which is a centre of gravity in itself, in that you can start mapping some interesting ways and groups into what's happening within a particular area or a particular area of activity. Just through that data set, and we're looking to that as something to draw other grant makers in, so we can start really filling out that map. And then it can start being instantiated in things like the outlet, so we'll look forward to that. Right, that's enough from me. Hopefully you can understand why we're excited about having supported data unity and multi-voice, and so I'll hand over to them. Thank you very much.